Okay. Anything else? So I got to hand some stuff out.
There you go. Worried about him. Dona, she will not be here. Edwards is here. Ferguson, Johnson. Maybe she'll come later. Kaiser. Louisma, Meneses, Montalvo. Nate, Nelson, Rashid, Reeves, Robertson, Sanchez, Wilbert, Mitsuko, Barrett, Shanos, Williams, there. Before I start, I would part of it on your nail.
Oh, I'm putting this right on to it.
You're not aware. Not you.
No, it's not very much.
Before I forget,
Yeah.
there are things that Mr. Dunn said that he thinks are funny. Apparently are not. I apologize. Especially when they say words like about what. And other people. I didn't know there were other people that comment on you or just pulling on that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, me neither. I just people in general.
Oh, okay. So I got the impression that I might have disturbed you. If I disturbed anybody, I might have offended you.
No, I don't think you did.
I apologize. It's my fault. It's my fault because there are things that I think in my head are funny, but and I think I'm being, frankly, instead I'm being a jerk. What offended anybody? I think I have. You don't have to necessarily tell me if I have. But if I have offended you about something other than the other thing, please tell me. Well, I already know the answer, but please tell me so I can make amends. And maybe I haven't offended you. Maybe I just spoke. I don't know. But let me know, please. I don't purposefully do it. And of course, you have the student evaluations too. make your comments and feelings known, which is your right. Wrong. Okay. Sorry. Wrong PowerPoint. I need the other one. Which I know I put on. I'm pretty sure I put on here, but maybe not. No, I know. Yeah, I sent it to you. I guess I didn't put it on my whatchamacallit, my USB, my flash drive. Which means I have to go into my email, which I don't want to do, because I don't want to violate anyone's, well, I shouldn't violate anyone's privacy. You alright? You won't be able to see my password, so it doesn't matter. If I can remember my password. Oh, that's right. Right one. Well, I'll have to use the board. Whoops. And 207. Now I know that's the right password. That's telling me that it's wrong. But I checked the password. I tried to enter in my computer at home, and I checked the password. That's the right password. All right, well, I'll have to write it on the board. Sorry about that. I forgot to put it on. I put everything else on there. I just forgot to put this on there. It's nothing big. It's just definition. Thomas Ferguson?
Do you want to read it from my phone?
No. I got it in my notes. That's not the problem, is that? All right, premise.
Yeah.
I got it printed out. It's just I forgot to put this PowerPoint on. I could get at it if I could get it in my email. Unfortunately, apparently my password is not being accepted. Which is weird, but okay. All right. Premise. Try one more time. That really bothers me. Premise comes from the Latin word premito. Premito. Which means to place forward, place in front of. I hope your husband, by the way, Mr. Ferguson, is okay.
Yes.
Did he feel the? I'm sure he felt the earthquake.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going there this weekend.
See him? Okay. Is he helping out in any of the stuff? Operation to save people, look for people? No. But it's nearby, right where he is, right?
Yes.
Huh? Thank God.
Thank you for asking.
Well, glad he's okay. I don't know if anyone has any relatives in Ecuador. No Ecuadorians? No? Huh? Huh? What happened in Ecuador? Major earthquake. A couple hundred people dead. I want to pray for God for those people in Ecuador as well who have died. May all the people in Japan and Ecuador rest in peace. Be safe. Deal with their injuries. Okay. Try one more time. Can I try one more time? It's really bothering me. I know I'm putting in the right information, and I don't know why the website would not accept it. Try Explorer. Could be security settings. Email. Oh, there we go. Ah, pre-talk. So at least we know another. Anyone have a professor named? Oh, Pristo. All right. Is that the president of the college or Prieto? Anyone have a professor named Prieto? There we go. What's poppin'? PowerPoint. There we go. PowerPoint. There, all your stuff. I should open it as a web page. Would you like to store the password? No. But allow pop-ups, allow once. Alright. Pop-up. Download it. Once. No, it doesn't want to download. Whoops. Okay, hold on. There we go. Now, make sure it's the right one. There we go. Hey! Guardian Angel. Bring me down. Notice that I've changed the definition. Changed it. I've changed the definition. So you can see premise, any statement which provides evidence for the conclusion. I think that's how I changed it last time, yes? When I listened to the lecture, I listened, hey, Mr. Clark. Wow, real deja vu going on here. Remember I was over here last. I changed that. So pre-minto, just send or place before. That's exactly what premises are. They're placed before. Placed before what, Ms. Mendoza? Placed before what? What do you place a premise before? What do you place a premise before, Ms. Mendoza? Conclusion. Conclusion. You can have one premise or many premises. You said nothing? You can have one premise or many premises. I want to go with that. I talked about premises already. I said that. The thing you want to look out for are implicit premises in an argument, and you might be surprised that we use a lot of them. We do use a lot of them. Just look at the conversation between Jesus and the Sadducees. There are a lot of, in that very compact story, there are a lot of premises going on, but some of them are totally implicit, like the fact that the Sadducees deny the resurrection of the dead. Now, the Sadducees don't state that, do they? Do they? Mark has to tell you that, the guy who's telling you the story. He says, a bunch of Sadducees who deny the resurrection of the dead approach Jesus and said, Teacher, I gotta close that door. It's warm over here, isn't it? It's warm. You can tell the difference. So what's an implicit premise? Basically, it's an assumption. That's all it really is. It's a fancy term for the assumptions in your argument. Just that these assumptions are unstated. So it's a premise that's assumed, but not stated outright. people can have implicit premises that are wrong. Yes, Mr. Nave? No, Mr. Nave? Yes, Mr. Nave? No, Mr. Nave? But yeah, those are basically your assumptions. Implico comes from actually two Latin words. I didn't separate them on the PowerPoint, but I'll separate them for you on the board. The word in Latin, and what is the word to fold in Spanish? Like if you're folding clothes.
Doblar.
Huh?
Doblar.
Doblar. Okay, but that comes from doble, right? To double over, you're doubling over. But is there a synonym, another word you could use that means the same thing as doblar, but no? No? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Da-da-da-dee-dee-dee-dee. Go to our right in. Well, print them out, Mr. Williams.
Envolver.
Huh?
Envolver.
Envolver. Envolver? Okay. Envolver? Okay. Okay. There's a really excellent website. Okay, yes, well, you ladies are chatting, having a great old time over there, and Mr. Dunn is up here suffering. I'm showing you a really beautiful website, a really excellent website if you ever need to do translation work. It's got a whole bunch of options here for English to Spanish, English to French, Catalan, well that's just definitions, but German, Dutch, Korean, if you're interested, Arabic, Ms. Algarin, if you do some Arabic. But let's do Spanish, say English, I'll just stick with English. That's what my old brain understands first. Ah! Pliegue! Plegad! Plegad! All right!
Yeah, what country is that from? What country is that from?
It's from Spanish. Hey, just because you're, you know, your age doesn't mean you know everything. You're just in your 20s.
No,
No. What I mean is,
heard it like at all, and I wasn't studying it. And I
Well, look, it says it on the Don't say it. Go up on it.
what are you looking at, Mr. Brito? It does, but plegad means to crease. To crease. If you have a crease in something, would you use plegad? It's plegato? You never heard of it? Now you've learned something. Let me put it to you this way. Can I open a dictionary and learn words from my first language that I've never heard? Well, then by analogy, can you?
Yeah, we're not refraining from the idea of learning something new. We're just saying.
Okay. And what's the argument you're making?
I'm not making an argument. I'm just going to say it.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, okay, ladies. Tavares, Amonti, I don't know, Tavares, Dasting, you know, the Dasting. We cast our eyes over there and we look at the Latin word Pico, Plegad, Plego, Plegas, Plega, Plegamos, Plegais, Plega, or is it Diego? Diego. We've never encountered it, we don't know. I'm going to assume it's Diego because it says Diegue is a crease, but you never know. I'm not Spanish, I don't speak Spanish. That's a first language, beautiful language. I love it when I can translate articles in Spanish. Pico, it's a Latin language. Latin is still spoken today, just in different forms. Just in different forms. Google Translate agrees with you two ladies. If not, you're out of the class. English, and we want Spanish over here, right? So, fold. Doblez. No, that doesn't seem right. I mean, pliegue. Okay, so a doblez is a fold. Okay, it's assuming that it is a noun here. To fold. Doblar. Okay, good. Plegar. There we go. Good. So let's go look at some other Latin-based languages and see what we get. Let's go to French. Plier. 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 Try Portuguese. Mr. Meneses, where is he? Mr. Meneses. I'm sorry, Mr. Meneses, but I think that's funny. That's the last time I'll say it. Dobrar. Okay, dobrar. What? Romanian. Romanian is a Latin-based language. Aplia. Aplia. So, implico. Plico means to fold in Latin. And it still means to make a fold or a crease in the Latin-based languages, plegar in Spanish. I guess it's been lost in Portuguese, they just have dobrar. Plier in French. I didn't do Italian, but I'll bet you in Italian it's plicare. I'll bet you money. In fact, for an extra credit of 3 extra points, if someone wants to prove that for me, that is my argument, that it is plicare in Italian. If you want to find it, write it down, prove it to me. I think it's plicare. To fold. Yeah, so if you want for an extra 3 points, those thumbs to work. So implico, to fold into. Okay, it's like, anyone watch those cooking channels, Montalvo? You ever watch those cooking channels, like Chopped? Top Chef, Cutthroat Kitchen, I think it's plicare.
No, I
It's piegare. So you've proven me wrong, but notice in Latin, Italian, the initial L, remember I told you in Spanish they couldn't say the F, so we called the Felus. In Latin, Italian, the L becomes a Y sound, so instead of saying plegare, they say piegare. So, good. So Ms. Almonte will get 3 points, if I remember. You don't think Almonte have a lie.
So what's the payment? I'll remember it's negative 2 points.
Negotiate. Okay, but you're going to get 3 points anyway. On the paper. But it's going to be, but you understand that an extra credit of 3 points is going to be added to all your, you're not getting whether I give it to you now or on the paper, you're going to get, okay, on your paper. Okay, what am I arguing for?
You couldn't get towards our final grade. So you have like an 80, we're going to have an 83.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why do you think I was going on the point?
Yeah, how else would it work?
That's enough to ask you.
That means those come in next week.
How much is the paperwork?
Or on your final grade, so if you say that's like 4 on your final grade.
oh, I did that.
I did that.
2.5, so you have 74, now you have 76.5.
You
So in some cases, you could go from
did the opposite.
Yeah, 3.5. I did that paper. Yeah, that's what
kind of doing the kids of my nature, because I want people to fail. Many people to fail if possible, especially the seniors. Oh, you got a message, Ms. Edwards. That's not funny either. Implico. So if you watch those cooking shows, and I'm going to presume that some of you do, and you just don't want to tell me that you'd like to see me up and die. What do you do when you make like, I don't know, you make like, what's it called? You whip up egg whites, or not a custard pie, what is it, a lemon meringue. No, not for an omelet, you wouldn't do that for an omelet. So like you're making a meringue, you know, and you have to make the big puffy white, you know, kind of foamy whipped cream. It's not really whipped cream, but it's whipped like egg whites with sugar in it and stuff like that. You know, you gotta, now with a meringue, the best, easiest way, Miss Ferguson, to kill a meringue is not to fold, but to whip. You need to fold. You fold it over. So that's kind of like what an implicit premise is. You're folding this premise over into another one without necessarily stating it. And I think I beat that horse to death. Could even sell it to a school lunch program. For me, I'll move. I don't know if I did a separate PowerPoint. Sometimes premises are dependent, sometimes they are independent. Kelly goes over this, so I'm just going to mention it. It might seem rather obvious to you, but hey, I like to, you know, I want to earn my money. Premises can be dependent. What does that mean? Where two or more premises work together. You're working together, you know? Sometimes they do that. So have you ever been in a high school where they made you do that, like, you know, the last couple of weeks of summer, you had all, you know, senior year maybe, you know, all the seniors had to go to some camp or something, and no one ever did that at your high school?
It wasn't a day, it was like a day.
Okay, but it was meant for, like, not friend building, but kind of like, what do they call it? Relationship building, community building, you know, something like that. Kind of like that's what's going on with dependent premises. Okay? They're community building. They're working together. They're working together. Okay? They're dependent on each other. They're working together. As in sports. Sports. There are very few sports where you can do it all by yourself. Correct? Name for me a couple of sports where you can do it all by yourself. Nope.
You don't do it all by yourself. What do you need?
Saying yes?
Track.
I said, I watched 60 Minutes a couple weeks ago, and they had some golfer on. Anyone see this? What's his name? I'm not trying to. The now, honey, you know? Like, no, it's golf. Shame somebody. Just won the Masters? No?
Rory McIlroy.
Huh?
Steve.
Huh?
Steve.
Who's Steve? Did he just win the Masters?
Yeah.
His green jacket?
Wait, last year.
Like last year. The young guy?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe it was him. Because I know he had kind of an odd name, I don't remember what it was. Not that Steve was odd. Anywho, while I was watching 60 Minutes with him in SS, they spent a lot of time interviewing some no-name guy. I didn't know who he was and didn't recognize him as I recognized Steve. But, you know, he was the caddy. Why would they spend so much time talking with the guy as a caddy? Really? In what way? Doesn't Mr. Steve choose some club, decide, hey, I'm going to do this, whatever. The man's the short one, the man's the long one. Well, you know, he's just a club guy saying, hey, here it is, he just hands stuff out. Just what he needs. How does he know? No one played high school golf?
Whether he would be driver and iron, putter, which iron.
What, does the golfer know that? I mean, when he walked up to a long one, whatever, he wouldn't know the difference between I need something to putt with versus something I need something for distance? Why would they have that? Huh?
Different irons of wedge.
And a golfer doesn't know that?
You do, but it's wasting time thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was in caddy, it's a ball, water ball.
That's like a water boy.
Yeah, it's like a water boy, it's like saying the guy who's in water.
Oh, man. You know, why do people like Tiger Woods? Hey, remember when Tiger Woods got caught by his wife cheating? And the caddy was like all over the TV folks were asking him, what did you know? What did you see? You know, even the caddy said I was getting girls for him. Well, you know, why would the caddy know any of that? Why would the caddy be involved in that? Because the caddy was more involved in my thing. They're paying big money for them, and that's it. Why do you pay big money for a water boy? No, because they're the ones who tell the golfer how to play the game. It's kind of like a catcher-pitcher relationship. People think pitchers call, you know this, people think that pitchers call all their pitches on their own. But what's the catcher there doing beneath his leg, giving signs? Why is the pitcher waving stuff off and saying yes to whatever it is? Because the catcher is actually call the game. And a caddy in golf does the same thing. But the catcher does
It's part of the team.
Well,
Caddy,
the caddy is supposed to be bad. Well, if the caddy's not part of the team, why do they always show up with the same caddy? And wherever they are. In Car, Georgia, they have a whole bunch of different caddies. Five of them, but I'm not saying God bless you. Yes, Mr. Clark.
Who wants to carry that all around?
Okay, so I challenge golf. But, okay, we can disagree, we can agree to disagree. Golf is one of those sports where, yeah, okay, you seem to be pretty much on your own, but really on your own. I'm talking about where you not only have to perform, but you have to decide how you're going to perform. Boxing, yes, you're in there alone. I mean, the guy can't come in there and direct you. You either have a plan or you don't. I was thinking like tennis.
Track. Swimming.
Track?
Tennis.
Swimming?
Track is too.
Track has someone.
Yeah,
I'm not talking about team sports. I'm not talking about not team, but track, yes, but it's also individual. You take their individual time. And how you run is dictated by, well, how you train and what you decide. Or fast or bicycle riding or bicycle competitions. I would not say race car driving, swimming. I would not say race car driving.
How was skiing?
Skiing if you're all on your own. No, not necessarily. So in some cases, yes. If you're in a pair, then no. But yes, if you're in single ice skating, then yes. What's so important, Mr. Brito? Show me.
What about
I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Your house. Having a party. Did I come to? Because I'm not allowed. I know the owner. Huh? Well, depends on when the party is. That's Thursday. Come knocking on the door. We're going to non-alcoholic beverages.
You're killing it.
Okay. So why did I even bring that up? Where did I put my notes? Okay, well, yeah, that's what I was leading up to. I think a lot of sports, though, if not many sports, that you're not independent, you're dependent. Just like a dependent premise. You depend on the others. The pitcher depends on the catcher to catch the ball. Otherwise, it's essentially a free pitch and the guy can run for a base. There's no pitcher there. Running back relies on his blockers to clear the way for him. God bless you. clear the way for him. Let's see, hockey. Well, hockey could be an individual sport, I guess. You just had one goalie and one hockey player, right? Or one goalie and one guy. If they do a shootout, so I guess you could just have a shootout contest or something, which they do sometimes, but that's based on individual effort. But it's usually a team sport where, you know, getting goals and stuff depends on. Yeah, it's basketball as well. It depends on, but you could just have a shoot around, huh? Dodgeball. Is dodgeball not? I don't know if that's not necessarily an individual effort in a group form, sir. Because what can other people in the group do for you? I guess they can block the balls that are coming towards you. Yes, okay. Okay. Interesting, yes. Rugby. I mentioned rugby before. You really need guys to push over or push back the other guys in order to pick up the ball, because they're usually all on top of the ball. So you need someone really to pass you the ball. No blocking in rugby, but so dependent. We have sports in which, you know, we are directly dependent on others, which is why we call them team sports as opposed to individual sports. They are team sports. You need a team to play, you know. Usually, of course, if you're two kids out in the backyard and all you have is a football and two of you, well then, you know, you're the team. Remember a team of one like that? Remember a few years ago or 10 years ago, the Army had the slogan, an army of one, something like that. I'm not exactly sure what it means. I think they were trying to say that one soldier is as dangerous as the whole platoon or whatever they call them. I don't think so. I still think I want like 50 guys around me, you know? At least so that there are 49 others to get killed before me. You know what I'm saying? Huh? That's gold? That's gold? Okay, well. You live in a country without the draft, come on, remember, sir. You got a family, I can imagine someone thinking that. Please God, don't let it be me. Yeah. Dependence. In Oratio. Oh, I forgot to do that. Well, you can't do it, so I guess you can mark. But Oratio is a full dependent premises because each one relies on the other. If an apple is a fruit, and a fruit, has it gotten cooler in here? Does it feel better? No? It's better when I'm standing in front of it. If an apple is a fruit, and a fruit is edible, which means what, Mr. Shed? What does it mean that something is edible? What does it mean that something is edible? Nope. Nope. What else? Women are present, sir. Women are including me. Edible. Not off the book, Mr. Shed. What do you think? What do you think edible means? Well, is a state edible? Is a steak edible? I don't know if the steak's edible. So if I pour you a plate with a steak on it, and I pour you another plate with a Frisbee, and I said to you, Mr. Shedd, here's a knife and fork, I want you to eat the edible object. What would you go for? Huh? Why? You don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Who would go for the Frisbee? Who would start eating the Frisbee? Cutting it up and chewing it down as best you could. Montalvo? Zelmonte?
I would eat it.
Why?
You can eat it.
That's an edible meat. They mean frisbee, they're not even listening.
You can eat it without being corn.
No, see, you got greedy, Miss Zelmonte. You got greedy.
And you can eat a frisbee. You can eat a frisbee on.
Able to be edo, from Latin, which, as I've told you before about language families, English and Latin are part of the same language family, means eat. Eat. Edo. Edo, to eat. It is able to be eaten. And yes, I think Ms. Montalvo, I say that again. Not Ms. Montalvo, but do that again. Ms. Almonte, yes, it does have that implication, or really more that inference is the correct word. You ever infer? You ever just sit down, Ms. Campbell, and say, I got to infer? That's a crack. Okay. Inference, yes, that this, what edible should also be helpful for you and not harm you. Eating plastic would certainly harm you. It would not be helpful. So edible. So, if I say that all fruit is edible, Mr. Williams, what does that mean? Yes, it's good for you to eat. It's able to be eaten. It's good for you to eat. Forget about digestion, sir. That's a whole other thing. There are things that are good for you to eat that are not digestible. Those in our nursing programs probably tell us to do, like, there's fats that are not digestible. Lipids that are not digestible. So not everything that you eat is maybe helpful for you. Like, why do they say eat roughage sometimes if you have constipation? It's healthy for you, but also the thing that you're eating, like apples and stuff like that, just to clear out your intestinal system. Anywho, so, an apple is a fruit. A fruit is edible. Therefore, my conclusion is, Ms. Rochette, that an apple is what? An apple is what? Is it what? No, not a fruit that I can eat. Simply, you can't repeat the middle proposition. An apple is a fruit. A fruit is edible. Therefore, let's go back to apple. What is apple? I've already established that by saying, well, no. An apple is a fruit.
Let's go back to the first thing I said.
Good. We've established an apple is a fruit, which is true. Fruits are edible. Ergo, therefore, apples are able to be eaten. They are edible. They are edible. That is a completely lie. It has to follow from the premises. If it also happens to be true. But if I say, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, you have what you do not have, you don't have horns, ergo, therefore, you have horns on your head. Those are both dependent premises, which lead to a conclusion. But they depend on one on the other. If I didn't tell you that fruits were edible, and then I just said fruits are edible, well, how would I know that? I haven't established that. Then we have independent premises that do not work together, but support a separate line of argument. Someone wants, is making an argument and gives you, like I said, we would say in common language, we're giving you reasons, Ms. Veneciano. Reasons that don't necessarily hang together, but which taken together, all together, might compel you or impel you to do something. maybe buy a product or believe in a certain way, or please God, pass this course. Which one do I want to do? I want to do this one. Make sure it's loud enough. Mr. Brito?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
And now, a new star. The proud new Lincoln Continental for 1970. The most dramatically new motor car in Continental's long, illustrious history. The styling is totally new, yet in the classic Continental tradition. The massive grille, concealed headlamps, powerfully styled hood, cornering lights, concealed windshield wipers, a custom pinstripe, protective body side molding, and fender skirts. Continental will boast of the most distinctive rear styling in America. The rakish roof slats and characteristic Continental thin roof pillar provide hardtop styling. The interiors are all you'd expect. There is a feeling of spaciousness. Almost every interior dimension is increased materially. Lincoln Continental has never before surrounds you with luxury. The town car interior option offers an extra measure of elegance. The completely new panel has a sweeping expanse of wood tone and Mark III inspired instrumentation. The steering wheel has Rimbaud, of course. The new optional AM/FM stereo radio is completely integrated into the instrument panel, eliminating the floor adapter. Yes, nothing has been spared to make this car the luxury leader in its field. But this motor car must be driven to be fully appreciated. It starts with the unsurpassed ride resulting from a longer 127-inch wheelbase, a 3-inch wider rear tread, and the utilization of a Mark III type computer-tuned suspension system. Passenger comfort is heightened by an improved sound package to reduce outside noise, and new fresh flow ventilation system, which exhausts stale air through a rear deck grille. Lincoln Continental, now more than ever, America's most distinguished motor car.
I guess that's a commercial. It's a little bit long for the 70s, but 1977, was it 77? It was 1970? When I did a real job, I mean like a full-time job, not just a bad job. That's what I'm looking for. Classic car, in the classic car catalog, and I'm just looking for my 1970 Lincoln Town Car, Lincoln Continental. I don't care which. That's what Maddie's got to have. Oh, yeah. They stopped making cars after the 70s, in my view. You don't drive cars that you love anymore. You just drive cars because you have to. Anywho, this is an example of, I think, dependent premises. The argument, overall argument, which is unspoken, the overall argument that's unspoken is you should buy one of these, yes? What do you think, Ms. Edwards? No. Repeat the question. The unspoken argument or conclusion that I think they want to lead you to is that I should buy one of these. Can we agree on that? Huh? What? I can't hear. I'm all the way up here. What did you say? Okay, so we could agree that they want you to buy this thing. And how do they try and get you to buy it? Give me an example of some of the premises they give you. Ms. Nelson? Ms. Nelson?
All those front row, the skirts.
The wheel skirts? The wheel skirts, which look cool.
And the roomy interior.
Yes. The roomy interior that's huge. Like sitting on a couch. I mean, really, I had a 1970 Cadillac. It was the first car I've ever bought when I was young. And it was like sitting on a couch, you know, it was beautiful. So comfortable, you know. And yeah, so this is like more luxury. I did notice, I don't know if anyone else did, but I pointed out, did you notice when they said every material option has been expanded materially? Every material option has been expanded in material way. Another way of putting that. What kind of argument, what kind of premise would you call that? Or argument would you call that? Where they kind of assume conclusion in the premise. Huh? What is? Implicit? Nope. Think back to our last class. Think back to our last class. Where they assume. You're in the right language field, sir. Huh? Tautology. Tautology, you know? Every material option has been materially expanded. Well, obviously, if they're material dimensions, and you expanded them, how else are you going to expand them but in a material way? I mean, symbolic way? Functional way? Feng shui? Anyway, it's a little 90s over there. Yes. What else do they do? What other premise do they give you to make you come to the conclusion that you should buy their vehicle? What else we got? Is Lorenzano? What else we got in that commercial? Such as, be specific. What struck you? The optional radio, AM and FM, Ms. Lorenzano. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, anything you could get in 1970, you got. I hope the car I'm going to have is definitely going to have cruise control. That's so cool, you know? I hate computerization. I mentioned computer. That's not what they mean. They mean like 1970s style computer with circuitry, you know? So open circuits. So not like today, where you can now get viruses on your car. You know, you ever hear about this? Like viruses on your car? Woo, for technology. But anyways, they need the very low-end brain system from the 1970s. What I love is it fascinates me. I don't know why. The old cooking class of seeing old stuff work, old VCRs and stuff like that. And it frustrates me as well because I'm an old guy and I've become used to being able to microwave something in 30 seconds to a minute. You know, or to program something on my VCR. I'm not used to having to program something in 3 hours for it to go through the mechanism that, okay, you're being programmed in. They have to give up 3 hours leeway, you know, like in the old days. Or with old cars, you know, just like the cruise control. You know, so, 5 minutes of cruise control. By that time, you don't need the cruise control anymore. East Germany, communist East Germany, which I visited, by the way. I visited a communist country, and hopefully in the future I will be visiting a communist country named Cuba. beautiful place, it looks like.
4 Trümpfe mit dem Trabant 601. Bequem für 4.
Now, start it again. I know this is in Germany because, I mean, you know, the East Germans spoke German. So I apologize if they did not put their commercials into English for us. Nevertheless, you can still kind of understand what they're doing. It's like any commercial. And think of this, it's a communist country with commercials. It kind of goes against the whole communist, I don't know, vibe. You know? But you have to remember that this car that they're selling you is state. It's a state-run enterprise, so it's not a private, like it's a private company making these cars. The state made them. They were considered probably one of the best vehicles you could own within the communist bloc of countries, BLOC, bloc, French word, called communist bloc. Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, all these, Russia, you know. So think of that when you're watching the commercial, that this was the best of the best that they could do. But it was all government controlled, so the government would decide, this year we're only going to make 10,000 Trabants. Trabi it's called. Well, what if there were 20,000? That actually apply to get the car, to the government, you know? What if 20,000 East Germans applied to get the car? Ja, aber leid, mein Herr. Sie müssen warten. You have to wait. And so, you know, it was not uncommon for people to wait 10 years just to get this little piece of junk. And I saw them firsthand when I went there. And they're beautiful. But I would drive this before I drove a Mini Cooper. In fact, they missed an opportunity when the fall of the river fall. It should have. But they were still pieces of junk.
4 Trümpfe mit dem Trabant 601. Bequem für 4 Erwachsene. Viel Raum für ihr Gepäck.
Oh yeah.
Wendig. Schnell. Ausdauernd und robust. Ihr zuverlässiger Begleiter, der neue Trabant 601.
The new Trabant 601. And if you wanted another Trabant, they did have what was called the Trabant Limousine, which is essentially that, looking like a station wagon. So you could choose. You had choice in communist East Germany between the Trabant two-door and the Trabant, same size, but now it has this, you know, the long sloping back for a limit, you know, for a station wagon. We would call it station wagon. They call
Bequem für 4 Erwachsene.
Perhaps you didn't notice.
Viel Raum für ihr Gepäck. Für 4 Erwachsene.
Perhaps you didn't notice as they're getting into this clown car that, I mean, now it depends on how tall these guys were. If they were 5 feet, 4 feet, maybe 6 feet, these guys ain't getting into this car because I've seen this car in real life. You know, so, but you can even see in the back, imagine where the knees are, and the guy's already hunched over like this. It's like being in the back of some of those Beetles, those new Beetles they made a few years ago, and you can't even see the guy's head anymore. There was no heater in the car. To get a heater, you had to just open the vent to the engine, so you got a nice big whiff of oil and smoke from the engine. Didn't take gasoline, well, not regular gasoline. You had to mix the gasoline with oil. So you had to go through some sort of mathematical thing of 2 parts gasoline, 1 part oil to put in it. It was essentially a lawnmower engine. It was a 2-stroke engine, which is essentially the same engine you would have found on American lawnmowers at the time. The car was, you can see they show you Gepäck, the packing size of all the stuff you can get in there. Again, you know, yeah, if I'm going to like a Chinese restaurant and I took some of those little packs, I'm sure like a 4 or 5 in the back of it, yeah, but you can see it really is not very big. They make it look big. Sturdy. They tell you it's a sturdy car. It can go fast. This was in the 70s. I think 0 to 60 was like 15 seconds. So you're like, and for the last bit, the cars would catch on fire. They were known for catching on fire because the engine was so small it would overheat. But it's okay, because the car might catch on fire, but the frame isn't going anywhere because the frame was made out of this special plastic that would not biodegrade. So you could not get rid. They were not biodegradable. They weren't made out of metal. They were out of this real. They used to make them out of metal in the 60s, but in the 70s they switched over to this plasticine. They had some special name for it, and only eventually in like the 80s and the 90s they found some kind of bacterium or something that would finally decompose. But you had these massive graveyards of Trabants that no longer worked. They weren't rotting. They wouldn't decompose. The frame was indestructible almost, as good communist engineering should be. Now, if you want a real luxury car, and this is a beautiful one, you could buy the Chaika. Oh, there's a guy up in Toronto that's selling a Chaika for 20,000 grand. I'd love to buy it. It means seagull, Russian or Ukrainian or whatever. It was Russia's response to our luxury cars, and they made these cars into the 80s look exactly the same. They looked like they were from the 1950s. And the reason they looked like they were from the 1950s is because they couldn't develop them any further, because when they first started making them, they actually stole them. You know, little corporate espionage. They got spies in American car companies, and they literally stole like the plans for car companies in the 50s because they couldn't figure out how to build them economically. So of course they stole them from us, capitalists. So that's why all their cars, they could say it's just like the American model, except theirs broke down a little bit more. And also once we kind of cut off their conduit of spies for corporations, they couldn't innovate because they were American designs and American ideas. So all they could do was maybe backwards engineer to figure out how we did a suspension system or something. So it's interesting. So this is the Great Trabant. And even though you can't understand German just by watching the commercial, I think you get the argument. Just visually, you get the argument. You know, the thing is bendy. You know, if you wind around and get around those curves, you know, it can go up a dirt road. Notice not for very long because they keep it on the dirt road. Because it had no shock suspension, by the way. It also had no radio. And, of course, no air conditioning. And no way to upgrade. No way to upgrade. It's not like you can tell the government in the application, okay, these are certain options I want, like a radio, an air conditioner. So, no. You got what you got. But, you know, it's big. About 2 minutes. You're done? You're done. So if I put a picture of this on the next major quiz, you'll be able to identify it? Okay. Is it a Chevrolet? Is it a Mini Cooper? Drive it. Drive it. Well, Trav can is right, Ms. Almond. We just had garbage instead of Trav. It's called Trabant. Trabant 601. So the argument is the same. Buy our car, buy our product, and they're trying to give you reasons to buy it. All these reasons are independent. And you do that when you buy a car, don't you? You might say, well, it's very spacious and roomy. It doesn't have a lot of storage. Nevertheless, I'll still buy it. Right there, you've proven that one of those premises is independent because it's not a deal breaker, as we might say. Okay, it's spacious. You know, I can pack my stuff in it. You know, and it goes fast. Well, it's sporty. It goes fast. Well, you know, whatever. I'm glad that it goes fast, but, you know, maybe you don't drive above 55, you know, maybe you're some old person. but nevertheless you just want a Camaro. You know, so all of these premises here do not necessarily lead to the conclusion that you will buy this product. In either case, in either the Lincoln Town Car, the Lincoln Continental that I showed you, Lincoln Continental that I might show you on a test, or the Trabant. These things, but together, as independent premises often are intended to do, they add weight, enough weight and validity that you will decide, I want this. Okay? See you on Wednesday. Have a good day. Oh, quiz, make a quiz, right? On Wednesday.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
That's Wednesday? I just confirming that we're having you.
No, I'm not moving it. I might forget it. Would you like me to move it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not much.
Not much. And maybe not. I really wanted to get to the conclusion before I gave it. Thank you, Mr. Shedd. I might move it, sir. I really wanted to get, I was telling Ms. Montez over in this person, I really wanted to get to the conclusion before I gave the quiz. Yeah. So I'll probably send out an email moving it to Monday.
I think the quiz was scheduled for Monday. I'll film it.
Okay. On what? Sorry?
I'll film it for Monday. Oh, no, it says Monday.
Yeah, I think they're right. I looked at my calendar. I thought it was Wednesday too.
Yeah.
So the essay is due Monday.
Yeah.
The essay is due Monday. So you really want that, an essay and a quiz on the same day? Those two going to happen? All right. Yeah.
I want to be here on Monday, so I don't know if I'm going to
Okay. Fine.
Will I be able to take it when I come on
Yeah, you can take it when you come back.
So will you move it?
Yeah, you should be. I really did want to get to the conclusion. You're right, there isn't that. I mean, I could maybe get 20 questions out of this, but I don't know if I can get 40.
So look, I know it's only like a page and a half.
I can look at your notes, so how about I look at my notes, which is probably more than a page and a half.
My lecture Wednesday or Monday or Saturday?
I don't know. Check your email. Thank you, Miss. Check your email. Oh, now your hair is straight.
Yes.
All right. Check your email, Ms. Montez. Ms. Montez, probably. But check your, okay?
Okay.
All right. Where, Mr. Nate, let's say where, they asked, yes?
Well, I just, the essay training, I'll put up the focus stuff.
Okay. Good. Good. It looks good. Use it to play off of.
Yes, that's what I.
That's not what the essay is about, but it can give you some background.
Yes, I feel like, wow, that's it. I actually know something about that.
Good. Good. I'm glad. Let me check out here.
Of course, I want to read it over if I get to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's good to do.
Sending me all these emails about graduation, and I don't think I'm going to graduate.
I'm just joking about that.
I'm talking about myself.
You do want to be aware of it, but you do graduate. You don't want to back off, maybe screw up a class, and graduate later. So you try to instill a little bit of holy fear into people, you know, that, hey, I want my scholarship, I want to keep doing sports, or if I want to graduate, you know, I got to pay attention to my grades. And grade point average even, you can still pass this class with a D or a C, and it can still ruin somebody. So I don't want to ruin anybody. I want people to do well and enjoy themselves. Yeah. That's all I got. I'm dying. No, I'm just a
I still want to graduate.
Huh?
I still want to graduate.
Why? Well, you got more classes to take, right?
No,